TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations.
Shalom and good evening. I am Ayan Hassan, and this is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Israel continues to gradually intensify its operational activities against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. U.S. President Donald Trump asserts there is no daylight between the United States and Israel when it comes to Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran stresses that the only way for a nuclear deal to be achieved is if the United States abides by the diktats of Tehran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Israel will continue to intensify its offensive against the Islamist Hamas and its terror affiliates in the Gaza Strip until all of the hostages are released and the war objectives to eradicate Hamas's military and governing capabilities are achieved. Speaking to reporters at the Morag corridor in the southern Gaza Strip, IDF spokesman Brigadier General Efi Defreen stressed the military's resolve to accomplish all of its goals.
We are here in the Morag corridor, the corridor located between the Khan Yunis and Rafah, as you saw earlier. I want to clarify the goal of the operation, to increase pressure on Hamas in order to bring the hostages home and to dismantle both the Hamas government and the Hamas military wing. The hostages are always at the forefront of our minds. This is our top priority. Every soldier here, from the division commander to the junior soldier, understands this objective.
General Defreen continued by acknowledging that the intensifying state of distress of the Islamist Hamas and its terror operatives, particularly in light of the failure to recognize the IDF's operational patterns, due to a deliberate state of operational ambiguity.
Since the beginning of the operation, we have maintained operational ambiguity. This is not just a slogan. Ambiguity is part of the method, part of the operational strategy. We do not intend to reveal our actions to Hamas. Now that we have completed operations here, we will continue to expand our operations more and maintain the element of surprise. Hamas is under pressure. We will pursue Hamas wherever it operates, both in the north and south of the Gaza Strip and even outside of it, anywhere. We will not rest until we bring our hostages home, every last one of them, both alive and deceased alike.
Turning to the central city of Jaffa, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in an address at the commemoration ceremony for the fallen of the Irgun of the 1948 battle over Jaffa. The Israeli leader drew a comparison between the personal convictions of the forces that fought in the War of Independence and today's forces who are fighting in the so-called War of Redemption.
Our heroic soldiers and commanders in the Gaza Strip, in Lebanon, in Syria, everywhere. They understand that the current war, the War of Redemption, is a historic campaign. And just as the liberation of Jaffa ended in complete victory, today we too adhere to the concept of complete victory. We will complete all the objectives of the war. We will collapse the Hamas rule in the Gaza Strip. We will return our brothers and sisters, the kidnapped men and women. We will thwart any future threat from Gaza to Israel, and we will return the evacuated residents safely to their homes. We are doing this, and we will complete it.
The Israeli Prime Minister continued by highlighting that the atrocities committed by Hamas and its terror affiliates against the citizens of the State of Israel have forced Jerusalem to alter the Middle East by effectively breaking Iran's axis of evil.
The horrific war of terror on October 7th demanded an uncompromising response. It is true that in the years before the war we launched major operations against Hamas in Gaza. We dealt it very severe blows. But it was not enough. No, it wasn't enough. There was Pillar of Defense, as part of which we eliminated Hamas military commander Jabri. There was Protective Edge. Then there was. Yes? No. Sahi? Guardian of the Walls, very good. I was just making sure that you remembered. And in these battles we killed thousands of terrorists, attacked commanders, but we did not enter into the field because there was no legitimacy, neither national nor international legitimacy. And here, after the terrible massacre of October 7th, we had to enter and resolve this issue. We are moving forward with a powerful attack against the enemy until it is eliminated, no less. In other words, there is no forgetting, no forgiveness, and certainly no restraint. I said 2 days after the war, and no one believed me, I said, we will change the face of the Middle East, and that is what we did. We did it thanks to the bravery of our warrior, troops, and commanders, which is great, and thanks to the solid and informed decisions that were made by the government under my leadership. We broke the axis of evil. We broke it in Gaza, we broke it in Lebanon, we broke it in Syria, and we broke it in other places.
Amid circulating speculation over a growing gap between the position of U.S. President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vis-a-vis Iran and its nuclear ambitions, the Israeli leader stressed that Jerusalem has not altered its course of relation to the Ayatollah regime, pledging to frustrate its regional belligerence and unyielding pursuit to attain weapons of mass destruction.
And about Iran, we have not given up on dealing with the Iranian threat. Do not believe what you hear from the channels of, how do you call them? Poisoning, panic, and in short, propaganda, which is what they are. There are more challenges, there is more work to do, and we will complete the task. We will not let up, because before our eyes stands the need to ensure the eternity of Israel. We know what we are fighting for. We know who we are facing. We see those monsters. We will not accept this caliphate here on the shores of the Mediterranean, merely several kilometers from here. We will not accept this caliphate, not here, and not there is Lebanon, and we will not accept the threat of annihilation from their patrons in Iran.
Following Prime Minister Netanyahu's remarks, the Israeli leader held a phone conversation with U.S. President Donald Trump, during the course of which the ongoing negotiations between Washington and the Islamic Republic of Iran were thoroughly discussed. Subsequently, in a statement on his Truth Social app, President Trump wrote, "I've just spoken to Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, relative to numerous subjects, including trade, Iran, etc. The call went very well. We are on the same side of every issue." In response to the statement, Prime Minister Netanyahu responded with a statement of his own, in which he wrote, "Thank you, President Trump." When asked to elaborate on their conversation, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt reiterated that the United States remains committed to its ally, Israel, and to blocking Iran from becoming a nuclear power.
I did speak to the president about it. It was a good call. They spoke particularly about Iran and the negotiations that are underway with Iran and the United States. And the president has made it very clear repeatedly, but I'll reiterate, there is no daylight between the United States of America and the state of Israel. He stands strongly behind our ally. He's made it quite clear when it comes to Iran that we want to see a deal, and Iran has a choice to make. But the president has also made it very clear, and he reiterated that in his call with Prime Minister Netanyahu today about the need for Iran to never obtain a nuclear weapon.
It is important to note that the Iranians continue to maintain that they would accept a new nuclear deal with the Americans with the condition that the United States adheres to a number of demands stipulated by the Ayatollah regime's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei.
If the Americans accept the framework and red lines that the supreme leader has stated, we are ready for any cooperation. And if they do not accept, then naturally we will not be subjected to humiliation and defeat. We have not pinned our hopes on them. Personally, I believe that if we act based on devotion within the country and act correctly and without error, we will build our country with power.
The United States Treasury Department announced fresh sanctions against Iran's energy sector, with the latest designation targeting Iranian national and liquefied petroleum gas magnate Saeed Assadollah Imamjoumeh and his corporate network, which is collectively responsible for shipping hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sanctioned Iranian LPG and crude oil to foreign markets. In its statement, the Treasury Department further highlighted that Imamjoumeh serves as a major source of revenue for the Iranian regime, the proceeds of which fund Iran's nuclear and advanced controversial weapons program, as well as regional proxy groups and partners such as Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas. Meanwhile, in Tehran, the Iranian Foreign Ministry announced that Iran's top diplomats would be traveling to China to coordinate the Islamic Republic's approach in talks with the United States moving forward.
Iran-China relations can play a constructive and effective role in any process. The foreign minister's trip to China was planned in advance, and it is natural that this trip will involve consultations with the Chinese officials regarding Iran-U.S. negotiations, and we will keep them informed about the latest progress.
The Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman went on to highlight that the technical talks, which are taking place today in Oman, in addition to scheduled talks on Saturday, aim to end the sanctions regime which effectively cripple Iran's economy.
Our fundamental demand in any negotiation is the lifting of illegal and oppressive sanctions. Lifting of sanctions in a way that has tangible and fully effective results.
و کاملا مؤثری داشته باشه.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you to support TV7 Israel. You can donate to help us produce our daily productions via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem. I am Mayan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and we will see you during our next production. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.